The concept that I'm going to teach you guys and show you today in this tutorial is the idea of using compensation and Singapore math to kind of help us add and subtract numbers a little bit easier. And you may be thinking to yourself, why are we doing this? I may be a parent that I've gotten through my whole life adding and subtracting by stacking numbers, and why can't my students or my child learn the same way? Well, this is easier, and we've been making too many mistakes with carrying numbers in schools. Think about our money system. We have all of our money separated into ones, fives, tens, 20s, and hundreds. Why do we do that? Well, the reason is it's easy to count. And why can't our numbers be this easy? Well, that's what we're doing with compensation. Our concept wants to take numbers and break them into tens if we can, or hundreds if we can, or ones if we can. And so I've got two examples for you that I'll try to help you understand what it is that compensation is trying to do. I took two numbers, 78 and 46. And on the surface, most people would stack these and then carry the one and try to add it that way. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to group these so that we can make one of these numbers hopefully end in 0. And all we need to do is we need to take numbers from one of them and give them to the other. And so when looking at these, the number that stands out to me is 78. 78 is pretty darn close to becoming an 80. And in order for that to become an 80, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 from this bond of 46. And I'm going to give 2 to the 78. So that means 78 now becomes an 80. And 46, since we gave 2 from 46 to 78, that's going to become 44. These two numbers now are much easier to add, but if you're still having trouble with it, you can go ahead and you can take 44 and break it into its two number bonds. Two bonds that make up 44 are 40 and 4. And what I try to make sure that students understand is we're 20 away here from making 80 become a 100. Most students can go ahead and add 40 and 80 together easily to get 120. And then once we go ahead and get 120, we then can add the 4 to it to get 124. Okay, let's look at one with subtraction. Subtraction is just a little bit different than addition. Addition, we're taking from one and giving to the other. The example I have for subtraction, I just wrote down 53 minus 26. Now with this, what I like to tell my students is we want to try to get the second number to end in a 0. So if I have 26 here, I could go down to 20 or I could go up to 30. Probably going up to 30 is a little bit easier because it's a little bit closer. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a bond of 4 to 26. And what that's going to give me now is 30. So we're going to subtract 30. What we do to one number, we have to do to the other for subtraction. So if I raise 26 up by 4, I've got to raise 53 up by 4. And raising that up by 4 is going to give me 57. Now we can take a look at these two numbers and hopefully subtract them a little bit easier in our heads. We don't have to carry numbers. We don't have to worry about any of that. And in fact, we just are subtracting the tens place if you think about it. 5 minus 3 is going to give us 2, or in essence, 50 minus 30 is going to give us 20, and then 7 minus 0 is going to give us 7. This would give us the exact same answer as 53 minus 26, except it's a lot easier to do in our head and a lot less mistakes could be made. I hope this tutorial helped you out. Please make sure that you check out other tutorials at parksmath.com.